this is Noreen from Joya Cards, and today we're going to make another card from the Well Done bundle. So we're going to use the stamp and the punch, and this is kind of a 3D kind of card. I don't know if you can tell, but it'll be fun. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a button here somewhere. Just poke on that, and I need subscribers. So that'd be great. And also, if you make a comment on my YouTube channel and put your email address, and you're the first one, and this is your first time subscribing, you could win the demo card. So I'll mail this to you for free. Just give me your email and we'll talk, and I'll get your address and I'll send it in the mail. So that's fun. You get a freebie. So anyway, let's go ahead and start. What we're going to do is we're going to take a Granny Apple green base, and just a basic 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then we're going to take Coral Calypso, and you're going to cut this 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And let's go ahead and just put her on up. So let's make sure we got the right side opening, and just put that right in the middle. All right, so that's the easy step. The next thing I want to do is start making this Pacific Point frame. And what it is you're going to take a piece of Pacific Point paper and cut it at 5.5, and then cut them in 4 1/4. So you're going to get these little rectangles here. Now we also use the outside frame, not the inside like we're doing on the front, inside. So one of those pieces of paper, I want you to cut the short end a little shorter. So take off about 1/8 of an inch. So instead of this side being 4 1/4, cut this side 4 1/8 so the card can close. But on the front, we're using the inside part, and we're going to be using rectangle stitched frames. And these two frames, I've got them taped together, and you also want to make sure on this inside one that you've got here that you cut short, that you put it like centered in the middle, so when you put it on the inside, it doesn't look bigger on one side than the other. And also just make them all in the middle, because you can use that at a later time on something else. So I've got a bunch of these hanging around I can use on another card. So tape these together, put them right in the middle, and I'm going to go ahead and run one, and I'll be right back. I went ahead and I cut this one, and when I put it in my die cutter, I put it in portrait. Don't put it in landscape, because every time you put in something with this much of a length to it, you hear that thump when you pull it through. So if you went this way, it's more of a thump than if you go this way. And also you could bend your die. So we're going to take this part, and I centered this up real nice. So this is the outside part that we're going to put inside the card. So this goes on the inside. So we'll put that to the side. And then there's another inside part in the middle here. And 5 out of the 6 you're just going to put to the side and use it for cutting something else or another card. So we'll put that to the side. And this is the part that you want. It's this middle frame. That's why we keep these taped together. So you're going to run 6 of these, just like this. So if you tape your frame here and you get it nice and centered, you're going to get 6 of these. And then we're going to take all 6 of these, and we are going to snail them together. So get out your silicone craft sheet and just regular snail. You don't have to use tape. And just take your snail and snail the entire length of the frame. And then just take your other one here and put it on top. Okay, and then you're going to pile them all up. So you're going to have 6 of these snails. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Now that you've layered all 6 of those frames together, now we're going to get the piece of DS paper that looks like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut it, and you got to make sure that the fishies are going horizontal. So the short end you want to cut at 3 11/16. And then the long end with the fishies going this way is going to be 5 1/16. And the reason why it's such a weird measurement is because we're going to hide it behind there. So we're going to go ahead and take this and nail it up on our card base and just stick it right there in the middle. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and take our frame and we're going to nail this up. And we're going to put it right on top of that DS paper. Perfect, just like so. Now, next thing we need to do is we're going to cut from Stitched Shapes the second and third largest square. And we're going to cut one in Granny Apple Green and one in Calypso Coral. And then we're going to take our stamping pad here and the sentiment from the stamp set. And let's go ahead and we can snail this up. There's no reason why we can't. So let's nail that up and put it right there in the center. And we're going to grab Pacific Point. And I always put my stamp pad or my ink pad on top of my stamp pad. I think you get more connection with it as well. And make sure you're on your stamp pad to stamp. And there's the sentiment. So let's close this up. Next one we're going to cut is the whale. And I chose to take Misty Moonlight instead of Pacific Point because I didn't want it so bright. And I'm taking this piece of DS paper and I'm going to stamp it. Now keep in mind we're going to punch this whale out. And when you look at a punch and you feed the paper through, it's going to be like that. So it'll be upside down. So make sure that you stamp your whale the appropriate way for the stamp or the punch. And we're going to go ahead, and I use this paper because I thought that a solid paper wouldn't be as nice. Okay, there we go. So even I goof because I had it going the other way and then I decided to put it on the other side. And if you notice, oh my gosh, it's upside down. So if you do that and you got all these little things you want to save on your paper, just cut around it. And then you know, it's like, well, how do I do that in a punch because it's too small? Well, you take a Post-it note. See, I meant to do that by mistake. No, I didn't. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it on the edge. And then I'm going to feed it through my punch. And I'm going to line it up. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to start stamping the plants and the turtle and the coral. So let's start with the plants. We're going to get some Granny Apple Green, Old Olive, and Pacific Point. And we're going to grab the stamps and also some daubers. Now what's great about this is I'm going to put different colors on this block. So here's Old Olive, here's Granny Apple Green, and here is Pacific Point. So the first thing you're going to start with is the lightest color, which is Granny Apple Green. So I'm going to take the Granny Apple Green on the dauber and do the entire stamp. And then I'm going to grab the Old Olive, which is darker, and just put it in just certain points that I think are good. And then Pacific Point, I'm also going to be doing some coloring on there. All right. And we're going to take our big plant and use the stamping pad, of course, and stamp that on nice and good. So it has some different colors in it. And then I'm going to grab the smaller leaf and do the same thing. So Granny Apple Green, I suppose you could just stamp it in there. And then Old Olive, just a little bit, just to give it a little dimension. And then Pacific Point. And I'm going to stamp another one. And then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to make at least 2, maybe 3 of these, just in case you know, cut one off. And I even on the card cut a little bit off on one of the leaves and just used it on a different part. I still used it, so it doesn't necessarily have to be connected. All right. Now I'm going to take a little scrap piece of Calypso coral and also get out my Calypso coral stamp pad and do that piece. This I can just stamp it. I'm not going to do anything weird. I might even just stamp two just in case I cut one off. Then I don't have to pull it out again. Now the time-consuming spot. I'm going to take these and I'm going to fussy cut them. I thought about putting them on my scan and cut, but I think they're just too small. And it's probably best if I just try to do it by hand. So I'm going to fussy cut these and I'll be right back. All these are fussy cut. You're going to take the same dauber and go ahead and go around the corners because there's just no way you're going to get all that off. So go ahead and daub the corners. So I'm going to do that on both the plants and the coral here, and I'll be right back. Now that I plugged in my mic, anyway, we're going to stamp the turtle. So we're going to grab Granny Apple Green and cover the entire turtle. And then we're going to do Old Olive and just like do where you think it would be darker, maybe on the back here a little bit. Okay, and then go ahead and stamp it on Granny Apple Green and it will look like that. Stamped out another one just to give myself some options. So I'm going to fussy cut this guy and I'll be right back. Of course, after you fussy cut, take your dauber and just do the edges real quick because sometimes you just can't get all the way up to that line, and that's fine. This will cover all that up. So now we've got all of our things cut out. Now we're going to build inside the frame. So we're going to take both the sentiment and the whale and we're going to put dimensionals on them. And the reason why we're doing these two first is they kind of interfere with each other. So you kind of have to make sure they both fit. So I'm going to put the dimensionals on. I'll be right back. So I've got two big dimensionals here and a mini dimensional. And on this one, you don't want to put the dimensionals below the frame. So let's go ahead and kind of line this up. Let's start with the sentiment and just hang it off the frame here. So it gives it a little more room for the guys inside. And then the whale is right here. Great. And now we're going to take the mini dimensionals and we're going to cut them down to fit inside of the plant. So just take a little tiny snip, and you might want to remove the tape first so you're not having to peel off all the tape when they're this thin. And then just, oh, my dog's howling. Take that one. Now I've got all the little dimensionals fitted onto my paper. I'm going to take the dauber and get rid of any white that you possibly see on the thing here. And I'm going to take this one now and I'm going to put it on the DS paper. Okay. And then I'm going to grab the Old Olive and look at them straight on and see which ones poke out. So I'm going to color the sides of these dimensionals and I'll be right back. So I've got all these dimensionals daubered on the sides there so the white doesn't show through. Now I'm going to go ahead and just start putting them on the DS paper and just, you know, arrange them how you like. I even took one of these small ones and cut it in half so I can take and put a little bit more on the main one here. And that's the front of the card. Now the inside of the card, what I've done is I've taken one of those frames that I said to cut shorter, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to snail it inside. Just start from the fold, just a little down from the fold so the card can close, and just like that. If you hear my doggy in the background, the mailman has come, so you know, one must bark of the mailman. And then you're going to take the third largest rectangle frame and you're going to put it in the middle like this. And what we're going to use is the frame itself, so make sure that it's even. So I'm going to run this through the die cutter, and I'll be right back. I ran it through the die cutter, and we're just going to pop out this frame here. And you can put this to the side and use it for something else because we don't want that. And we're going to take this one, we're going to snail the back of it, and we're going to put it on top. And actually, before we do that, we're going to take one of the inside pieces from the front when we were making all these frames, and we're going to snail that, and we're going to put it in the center first. So take that and put it in the center like that, and then take the snailed up frame and put it right on top. Okay, now all we have to do is a little bit of stamping. So let's get our plants again, and we're going to grab the fishies and of course the sentiment that goes inside, and we're going to do the plants in Old Olive, and I'm just going to put the whole thing in because it's on this blue paper, so it's pretty dark. So put one there, and I'm going to grab the small plant and put it in this corner, and then again here, and then I'm going to put this away, grab the Calypso coral and the Pacific Point. So I'm going to do let's do the sentiment first. Actually, let's grab that, and that's Pacific Point, and this is hoping all your birthday fishies come true. Okay, and then I'll grab the fishies, and you can have them facing whichever way you want. And I'm just going to put them right here. And that's the card. If you like the video, please subscribe. If you're a first-time subscriber and you put in my comments your email address and you're the first one, you'll win the demo card. I'll mail this to you, so that'd be great. But I do need subscribers, please. And so if you could subscribe, that'd be great. And I hope you win the demo card. Just leave me your email because I can't communicate to you. You can communicate to me. I can't to you. So just give me your email, and hopefully you'll win, and that'll be cool. Thanks. Bye.